Straddling the crossroads of Africa and Asia, there lies a vast expanse of land that has captivated the imagination of explorers, historians, and scholars for centuries. This region, characterized by its expansive desert landscapes, serves as a natural bridge connecting two continents with a rich and diverse cultural heritage. The deserts here are not mere barren stretches of sand. They are historical archives, holding secrets of ancient civilizations and natural wonders. This unique geographical connection has played a pivotal role in the movement of people, ideas, and goods throughout history, making it a focal point in the study of human civilization. Within this grand expanse lies Saudi Arabia, a kingdom that is as enigmatic as it is influential in the realms of history and religion. Known predominantly for its vast deserts, Saudi Arabia's landscape is a tapestry of arid beauty and geological marvels. However, it is not just the natural beauty that makes Saudi Arabia stand out. The nation holds a special place in the historical and religious narrative of the world, particularly in the context of Abrahamic religions. Saudi Arabia has been a site for some of the most shocking and intriguing discoveries that have reverberated across the globe. These findings are not just of academic interest, they hold profound religious significance. For believers and scholars alike, Saudi Arabia offers a tangible connection to the past, a place where sacred texts and historical evidence converge. The discoveries made here provide insights into ancient events and practices, offering new perspectives on stories that have been passed down through generations. Mount Sinai, a name deeply etched in the religious consciousness of millions, stands as a symbol of divine revelation and spiritual awakening. In the narratives of Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, this mountain is more than a geographical landmark. It is a sacred space where heaven and earth are believed to have met. In Jewish tradition, Mount Sinai is where God revealed himself and his commandments to Moses and the Israelites. It's the site of a profound covenant, a moment that shaped the very identity of the Jewish people. The Torah, received on Mount Sinai, is not just a set of laws. It's the embodiment of God's promise and guidance to his chosen people. For Christians, Mount Sinai takes on a dual symbolism. It is the place where God's laws were given, representing his holiness and justice. But it also prefigures the coming of Jesus Christ, who Christians believe fulfilled the law through his teachings and sacrifice. The Sermon on the Mount, for instance, is seen as a spiritual successor to the revelations at Sinai, offering a deeper understanding of God's will. Islam too reveres Mount Sinai, known as Jabal Musa, as a place of great significance. It's where Prophet Moses received the tablets of the Torah, an event that is commemorated as part of a broader tradition of prophethood. For Muslims, Mount Sinai is a testament to God's guidance for humanity, a place where one of the greatest prophets received divine wisdom. The historical and symbolic layers of Mount Sinai are intricate and profound. Each faith views the mountain through a unique lens, yet there is a common thread of divine human interaction and revelation. In Judaism, the mountain symbolizes the birth of a nation and a covenantal relationship with God. Christianity views Mount Sinai as a precursor to the teachings of Jesus. It represents the transition from law to grace, from a set of rules to a more compassionate understanding of God's intentions for humanity. In Islam, Mount Sinai is a beacon of God's mercy and wisdom. It's a physical and spiritual landmark that connects the story of Moses to the broader tapestry of Islamic teachings and the continuity of God's message to humankind. Through the prism of these three major world religions, Mount Sinai emerges not just as a mountain, but as a multi-dimensional symbol that has shaped religious thought and practice. It encapsulates themes of revelation, covenant, law, grace, and divine guidance, making it a pivotal point in understanding the religious and spiritual landscape of humanity. The quest to pinpoint the exact location of Mount Sinai has been a subject of fascination and debate for centuries. Traditionally, Mount Sinai has been identified with Jabal Musa, a granitic peak located in the south-central Sinai Peninsula of Egypt. This identification is deeply rooted in the traditions of Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, each regarding it as the hallowed site where God revealed the Ten Commandments to Moses. The area surrounding Jabal Musa gained religious significance in the early Christian era, frequented by hermits seeking spiritual solitude. A significant landmark here is the Monastery of St. Catherine, established in 530 CE at the mountain's northern base. This monastery, possibly the world's oldest continuously inhabited Christian monastery, is a treasure trove of ancient biblical manuscripts and religious artifacts. The mountain itself rises to a modest height of 2,285 meters, or 7,497 feet, and is dwarfed by neighboring peaks, yet its religious stature towers in significance. In contrast to the traditional Egyptian location, recent theories have emerged suggesting Saudi Arabia as the potential site of Mount Sinai. This proposition has stirred considerable interest and controversy in both academic and religious circles. Multiple locations within this Middle Eastern kingdom have been proposed by scholars and explorers, each backed by various interpretations of religious texts, historical references, and geographical analyses. The shift in focus towards Saudi Arabia has opened a new chapter in the quest to locate Mount Sinai. It challenges long-held beliefs and invites a re-examination of historical and scriptural evidence. This search is not just a geographical one, it is a journey into the heart of sacred narratives and an exploration of how physical landscapes can shape spiritual understandings. The ongoing debate over the location of Mount Sinai extends beyond academic curiosity. It represents a confluence of faith, history, and geography, highlighting the complex relationship between sacred texts and the physical world. The quest for Mount Sinai's actual location is intertwined with the broader search for understanding the historical roots of religious beliefs and the ways in which sacred landscapes contribute to spiritual identity. In recent years, the narrative surrounding Mount Sinai has taken an intriguing turn with the emergence of Saudi Arabia as a potential location for this sacred mountain. This shift represents a significant development in both religious and archaeological studies, challenging traditional views and opening new avenues for exploration and debate. One of the earliest proponents of the Saudi Arabian location for Mount Sinai was Charles Becker, an English traveler, geographer, and biblical critic. In 1873, he proposed a volcanic interpretation of Mount Sinai and suggested that it might be located along the route Moses took from Midian in northwest Arabia. Although Becker's initial theory of a volcanic Mount Sinai was eventually withdrawn, he continued to advocate for a Saudi Arabian location based on geographical and historical considerations. He identified Jabal al-Nurai, a mountain near Mecca, as a potential site, drawing connections between Islamic and biblical narratives. Despite Becker's efforts, his ideas did not gain widespread acceptance. However, they laid the groundwork for future explorations and discussions about the possibility of Mount Sinai being in Saudi Arabia. The 20th century saw renewed interest in this theory, with explorers and scholars like Alois Musil and H. Philby exploring potential locations for Mount Sinai in Saudi Arabia. Musil identified Jabal al-Manifa, a mountain near Wadi el-Harb, as a plausible site for Mount Sinai, based on its geographical position and local traditions. Philby, a British explorer and a friend of Ibn Saud, the founder of Saudi Arabia, also supported the identification of Jabal al-Manifa as Mount Sinai during his travels in 1952. Their work contributed to a growing body of research that considered the geographical, historical, and religious factors pointing to Saudi Arabia as the site of Mount Sinai. A significant development in this narrative came from Jean Koenig, a French scholar who in 1971 proposed the volcanic peak of Halal Badr, also known as Jabal al-Lawz, as the likely location of Mount Sinai. Koenig's hypothesis was based on several criteria: the distance and direction from Egypt, the presence of water sources and vegetation, suitability for camping and grazing, and the geological and topographical features of the mountain. His work provided a comprehensive and compelling argument for Jabal al-Lawz being the real Mount Sinai. The exploration of Saudi Arabia as the potential location of Mount Sinai has opened new chapters in the understanding of this ancient and sacred site. These theories not only challenge traditional beliefs, but also offer fresh perspectives on the historical and geographical contexts of religious narratives. As this quest continues, it highlights the dynamic interplay between faith, history, and geography, inviting deeper exploration into the heart of one of humanity's most enduring sacred stories. The narrative of Mount Sinai in Saudi Arabia took a dramatic turn with the introduction of Ron Wyatt, an American nurse anesthetist and amateur archaeologist. Wyatt proposed that Jebel al-Lawz, a mountain near Al-Bad, was the true Mount Sinai. His theory was grounded in his interpretation of biblical narratives and his observation of various features and artifacts around the mountain. Wyatt claimed to have found a large split rock, almond trees, stone enclosures, and pillars, which he believed were linked to Moses and the Israelites. Wyatt's suggestions were met with skepticism and controversy. His lack of formal training in archaeology, unscientific methods, and absence of peer-reviewed publications cast doubt on his findings. So that's all for this video. Hit that subscribe button for more updates.